Yeah, I want to talk about this Cyprus thing. It looks like the markets are already taking a dump in Asia. And they're talking about changing the percentage. Like it's supposed to be under 100,000 euros, 6.75%. Over 100,000 euros, it was going to be 9.9%. Now I think they're talking like 12.5% over 100,000 euros, 3% under 100,000 euros. That's another change. Now there's somebody else talking about, I think it was from Germany or something. I don't know, I'm reading all this bullshit, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you my common sense says about some of this. Because, here's my cat over here, he's walking by anyway. The thing is, you know, they're screwing this up so bad, I think it's on purpose. Right? You think they're freaking that stupid? It's almost like they're creating a freaking catastrophe. The Asian markets aren't doing so good. And tomorrow, I don't know, maybe the S&P might drop a little bit. You know? It creates a scare. It's going to create a scare on the banks. Like, people are going to start pulling their money out of the banks. Because somebody, like, freaking said something about, you know, let's do this to maybe Italian and Spanish banks. You know, tax the money. You think they're that stupid? No, they're not stupid. It's a freaking game. So I think so. You know, I'm going to play this almost like the same way when I got to work for somebody and they're a freaking demon and they love me because I'm a demon. It's like you got to play common sense and street smarts all the way. I mean, I don't freaking always get it right, but I suspect every damn thing. I do. They're not that stupid. They're creating a panic. And actually think about it. You know, look back in history whenever there was a panic in the markets. People knew. It's like they pulled the plug all of a sudden, right? I don't know. Maybe the shit's going to start coming down. So, you know, maybe, you know, cash looks pretty good, but gold and silver looks pretty good too. And I got to keep going by what Mark Farber says. Why does he keep adding gold? Why does he keep adding gold, right? I mean, is it because he's like a freaking YouTube idiot? Freaking, you know, these people saying, buy gold, the world is coming to an end. But yeah, he is kind of buying gold for that reason, because he's afraid of a catastrophic collapse of the financial system. I don't think it's going to come about that fast, but, you know, I got the suspicion that these people aren't that stupid as to what they're doing. You know they're going to create a panic with this shit. Because it wasn't just Cyprus. I was thinking, you know, maybe they were targeting like the Russian business, ex-KGB businessmen's money. You know, they weren't targeting like Cyprus people's money, because there is a shitload of money, from what I know, that's in Cyprus, because it's a tax haven, and Russian super big bucks is in there. In all these different companies. So maybe they're targeting that. That's what I was thinking. But then, like, you're hearing this crap about, you know, somebody talking about taxing Spain's and depositors and Italy's depositors too. And then, you know, the Asian markets are starting to take a dump. I don't know, man. Like I said, when something happens, somebody's making it happen. You know? So I ain't worried about it, because basically wherever I have my money is in pretty much commodities, gold and silver. I mean, maybe they could sell off a little bit, but then I got cash, and I don't think they're going to sell off that bad. Actually, people are going to start waking up and say, hey, it's a safety. You got to remember, this Mark Farber guy knows what the hell he's talking about. And silver, he doesn't get silver, but silver is the poor man's gold, right? So that's why you buy it. I mean, you know, I kind of agree with like someone what Raw Dog says about these people on the internet talking about this. They're just a bunch of opportunists, but I think he's screwing up when he sold his silver at the price he sold it at. I mean, it could go down a little more, but I don't know, is he going to buy it back, or is he going to keep waiting for it to go down even more? I wouldn't have sold it at that price. I mean, if it was like $40, I don't know, maybe then that might be making sense, you know, that might be making sense, but it's too damn cheap now for sure. So I think there's something coming up with this stuff. These guys aren't that stupid. It's almost like they're creating a panic on purpose. Because it isn't just Cyprus, now they're talking about Spain and Italy. I mean, shit, what are they trying to do? Then you got problems going on with the Asian markets, look like they're starting to tank. And I don't know, maybe they'll drop the S&P a few percentage points tomorrow, so who knows? It's too damn high, ain't it? So, this whole thing could be like a setup in a way, who knows? But you're not, if you're keeping your silver and your gold and some cash and stuff, you're alright. You're not going to have a problem. So, I just think I smell a scam coming up, so, I don't know. You might see the markets take a shit tomorrow, who knows? And maybe next week and stuff, because this looks like the beginning of the cracks in Europe, right? So, and when Europe starts going down, it's going to affect the United States. It's going to affect everything globally, because nobody knows how everything's tied together. Banks are all tied together in one way or the other. As a matter of fact, when they had QE2 with the United States, that most of that money went to shore up European banks. Right? So, I don't like talking about this shit too much, but I want to throw my crap out here because I know on YouTube and on the internet there's going to be a pile of crapola out there that's going to be way off base. So, I smell something coming up. It ain't going to be the end of the world. It ain't going to be the end of the US dollar and all this kind of shit. But there could be market turn downs due to this stuff. And, your gold and silver should be alright, I'm thinking. It's not going to get hit as bad as some of the other shit, probably. That's probably what's going to happen. And people are going to wake up, Because gold and silver are convertible into any currency at any time, right? Right? You wonder, should you go in the yen? Should you go in the dollar? Should you go in the yuan? And, I was saying this shit before. There's nothing that can replace the US dollar right away, because they'd have to create a whole pile of, like, say, with Swiss francs or Chinese yuan. They'd have to create a whole pile of it to replace the dollar. And thus they'd be inflating that currency, too. So really what's coming down to the alternative is the silver, gold, and hard assets. Could be agriculture and stuff like that. But I smell something coming up. I don't think these guys are that stupid in doing this stuff. I was thinking maybe they're targeting the Russian businesses or something that are in there with big bucks. When they start talking about taking money and doing that with the depositors in Spain and Italy, openly talking about that, I don't know. I think it's on, beginning to wonder if it's on purpose. So, just like if you look back in history, every time there was a panic in the markets, some yo-yos were behind it. Somebody got it started, you know what I mean? So, we'll find out, but I ain't worried about it because, like I said, I got cash, silver, gold, and platinum, palladium, and all that other shit, and it's mine. It ain't, it's split. I got split everywhere. Some money's in this bank, some money's in that bank, some's in this brokerage account, some is in physical, some is in another brokerage account. So I don't give a shit. I ain't gonna worry about it. But I don't have my money in like the Dow or the S&P. So, and I don't have it in euros. So, I ain't worried about it. But I smell something's coming up. I think it's deliberate. So, and like I says, if this panic creates the metals going way up later on, well, don't be afraid to sell a lot of it for good old US dollars, because the good old US dollar is going to be around for a while. It ain't crashing right away. I don't even know if it's ever going to crash, to tell you the truth, because it's backed by oil. And that's just how it is. There's always shit they can do. So, just be smart, be shrewd, outsmart the fucking bastards, and you got no problem. So, that's usually what you got to do, is outsmart the bastards. So, I don't know. But I smell something coming up. I think this is a deliberate panic they're causing. Deliberate, on purpose. So, we'll see. We'll see. Might see the markets drop tomorrow. But, you know, it ain't going to be the end of the world. But you're probably going to see the markets drop and the euro start having more problems. And there's going to be more financial crises. But, you know, that don't look bad for silver and gold. Like I said again, for the 50th time. Why do you think Mark Farber's buying gold every month? He's afraid of a systemic, catastrophic collapse of the whole system. That happens, they're going back to square one, gold. So anyway, that don't mean you buy Chris Duane silver dollars, though. Any that kind of shit. Just buy the regular stuff, you know, American Eagles, Canadian Maples, Indian Head, Buffaloes, and stuff like that, you know. Nothing fancy.